What's happening, people? Ryan Thomas here live on YouTube on the Thomas Take Sports Podcast. Once again, bringing you the latest edition of the Thomas Take Sports Podcast. And per usual, as I stated, 32 picks in 32 days would continue on this channel, only on this channel. And really looking to build the YouTube visually and make things happen that way. So 11th overall, Miami Dolphins, a team that the Buffalo Bills fans and the Buffalo Bills play twice a year, given that they share the same division, the AFC East. Miami is a very interesting team to me at 11 because the real question, the most obvious question is, where do they see Ryan Tannehill? Do they see him as the dude? Do they think he can stay healthy? Do they think that he's the realistic guy? And I'm going to tell you yes, I'm going to tell you no. I think it's a little bit of both. I think they want him to be the guy. I think they planned on him being the guy. And I think he, in some regards, has actually exceeded expectations. Just looking for something. Oh, well. He's exceeded expectations. At the same time, the injury history is a little bit concerning. It's a little bit troubling, I should say. And the reason why I would say it's troubling is due to the fact that it's a knee. A knee injury is as serious as it gets for any player at any position, let alone a quarterback. And the knee injury that he had was a freakish knee injury, a knee injury that, kind of happened once last year. And then during training camp this past season, they had to go out and get Jay Cutler due to the fact that Tannehill was hurt. So to say the least, quarterback could be an area that the Dolphins decide to look at. I don't think that's going to happen. And I'm going to tell you why. I do think Adam Gase has a full belief in Ryan Tannehill. I do think Adam Gase is willing to work with Tannehill and get through this, rough patch of his injury history. Another reason for that is one of the more unlikely reasons out there, but it obviously should be factored in. The Dolphins signed Brock Osweiler. Now, I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination that Brock Osweiler is a franchise guy. He's proven that he's not. But what it does mean is that if Ryan Tannehill gets hurt, Brock Osweiler would be leaned on as the backup, which I could say he'll probably do at least a little bit better in that regard compared to Jay Cutler. And he's younger, so maybe there'll be something there in as far as him playing as a backup. The other part of this is that Miami lost one of the best weapons, lost one of the best weapons that they've had in quite some time in Jarvis Landry. Traded him away to the Browns to get an extra 4th and 6th, I believe. That hurts. That's going to hurt them. Another part of this is that Miami traded away one of their best dynamic running backs in Jay Ajayi. But Kenyon Drake, I think, is the real deal. I think he's going to definitely make things happen for them and provide a means to an end at the running back position. So they got some pieces. One of the pieces that they heavily invested in, one of the pieces that they lost was defensive tackle Ndamukong Suh. They heavily invested in Suh. They thought he'd be the realistic dude. They thought he'd be legit, and that didn't happen. So I think this is going to lead to obviously finding a replacement for him, obviously putting somebody on that defensive line to maximize the other players on the defensive line that they have, the Cameron Wakes of the world, maximize their potential as well. Enter in the 11th overall pick, the Miami Dolphins select Washington Husky defensive tackle Vita Vea. Vita Vea is one of my favorite players in this draft. Vita Vea is a guy that is well-versed, can play any position on the defensive line. I think he's a true stud nose tackle. And I hate to say that because I don't want Miami to get better. I want Miami to get worse. I want Miami to falter a little bit. But with this pick with Vita Vea, I don't think they will. I think that'll definitely make their defense better. Vita Vea, to me, allows Miami to maximize the defensive potential that they already have. and also allows them to get a true stud player in their lineup week in and week out on the defensive front. You look at who they got to go up against: the Patriots, Jets, Bills. Nobody ever said getting pressure on the quarterback was a bad thing. Enter in Vita Vea. So there you have it. Saquon Barkley going to Cleveland at 1. For those of you that haven't tuned in from the start, Saquon Barkley going 1 to Cleveland. Bradley Chubb going 2 to the Colts. Josh Rosen going 3 to the Jets. Sam Darnold going 4 to Cleveland. And based on this order, I think it could be the opposite. I think Darnold could go first. Barkley could go fourth. Mayfield, Denver, Nelson, Indianapolis, Minkah Fitzpatrick at 7 to Tampa Bay. Chicago getting Tremaine Edmonds. San Francisco getting Derwin James. Oakland getting Roquan Smith. And Miami getting Vita Vea. Next up, Buffalo. I really think that that's going to be interesting. Take care, everybody. Thank you for tuning in.